We was waiting for like sort of our next big public event to like sort of invite her down to.
Right.
It wasn't until like sort of a year later that I got a text on the phone, and the text said Cyril Smith's about to be stripped of the freedom of the borough of Rochdale. Do you know anybody who'd like to speak? Or like sort of words to that effect. Obviously she contacted me for a reason. There's no way that she'd not seen the stuff that we've been doing in Rochdale with Parents Against Grooming, campaigning and protesting and stuff, and stuff we'd done on the media. I just had a little text previous to that. I did something on Women's Hour on Radio 4, and she'd listened to that, and she just sent me a message, well wishing basically, saying she'd listened to the interview, it was good and all that kind of stuff.
Because this all stemmed from one survivor, have I got that right?
Yeah, so what happened is, she's contacted me, asked me, did I know anybody who'd like to speak?
Yeah.
Obviously knowing that I'm going to jump at the chance to address the full council, address accountability with them, and other stuff that we're that are on like sort of survivors' minds basically.
Well, this is your chance, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, what was going through your mind at that time?
It kind of blew me away, to be honest with you, because like previous to that, in that year running up to that, we'd had the Independent Inquiry into Child Abuse Rochdale report come out, which there's been no proper address from the council. We've had Richard Farnell like sort of disappear, and it's found out to be a liar and lied to the inquiry. And I'd covered all the media for that as well. I'd done about 7 or 8 interviews that day that the report came out for the inquiry, but there was no contact from her then saying, oh Danny, I've seen the piece. There was no mention of the Rochdale report. I didn't even realise she was deputy leader of Rochdale Council, to be quite honest with you, until Billy told me. I just thought she was a councillor.
So her lack of getting in touch with you, did that seem strange to you?
It did seem strange, to be honest with you, because obviously she's been watching. Do you know what I mean? Because she's seen the Radio 4 interview. So yeah, it did seem strange, and I thought, let's just make the most of it. Spoke to Billy. I know Billy had been previously trying to meet up with her. He emailed her and stuff, and he's had no response from her. And that's when I said to him, oh, I know her, Billy. I mean, I'll contact her. And previous to that, she was supposed to meet up with myself and Billy to have a chat, but that never materialised. So when I heard from her, I thought, right, we'd basically give up on her, haven't we, Billy? We'd basically give up on her. Then she'd like sort of come back into the forefront. So I said, yeah, I'd like to speak, of course I would.
Because to all intents and purposes, the texts which, as this interview's on, there'll be texts kind of being overlaid, coming in and out to back up what you're saying. But me and Mike were talking about it before. At this point, she comes across as nothing but helpful and cooperative, to the point where you do feel and you're convinced that, wow, we have got a powerhouse on our side here, right to the top pillars of power within Rochdale. So that must have been really exciting to think that, because not only is she, appearing and she's been on the phone with you, but these texts, I've read them, they're so encouraging, and she's so on your side leading up to this, and she's offering to put complaints in on your behalf, because do you want to talk about that a little bit?
So what happened, if I just run through, so she said I'd like to speak, I'd like you to address the full council. I said, yeah, that's great. She contacted me about 10 o'clock on a Sunday night it was, and she said, what I'll do is, she said, I'll email the mayor now and ask the mayor, can you speak? And she sent me a copy of the email which she sent to the mayor. Then she got back to me on the Monday. She'd heard back from the mayor, and the mayor said, I can't speak at this minute at this meeting, and she went, I'm going to push and push and push. I'm going to put him in a position where we can't say no. So then she emailed him some links to other work that I've done, work with the inquiry and stuff. But he's come back and said procedure's not been followed, and she's gone, well, there wasn't any procedure because this meeting's just been announced and there was nothing to sort of follow.
So even at that point, she's still trying to fight, or at least that's what she's showing
that's
to you.
That's the impression that I got.
Now, what do you think the mayor's problem was?
I think the mayor's problem was Danny Briley. So Danny Briley is the head of communications for Rochdale Council.
Yeah.
So what Danny Briley had done is he tried to discredit me to the mayor, tried discrediting me to Chief Exec Steve Rumlow, and to Alan Brett as well, who's the leader of the council.
Because I'll deny I've said this, and I'm very reluctant to say it even in this room. If we don't do successful in one ward, I might not spend any money in that ward. And you can work that out, but I'll deny I've said it. I will.
Saying that was a vigilante, a paedophile hunter. He found and a liar as well. He found a video of myself and Billy outside Tony Lloyd's office, and we was just doing a live video about Tony Lloyd and the stuff that he'd said to Billy about leave the past in the past. You know what I mean? What are you bringing this stuff up for?
Who Tony Lloyd had said
Tony
that?
Lloyd.
Right, okay. Can you just say for the purpose of the camera who Tony Lloyd is and why you were outside?
Yeah, so Tony Lloyd used to be Police and Crime Commissioner for Manchester and is now MP of Rochdale.
Right, okay. So what was the purpose of being outside? What was you protesting about?
We was just highlighting Tony Lloyd's stance on survivors, basically.
Okay.
And how he's like sort of no concern or regard for survivors with comments that
But yet still elevating through the pillars of power.
Yeah.
Whilst turning his back. So this Danny Briley, he literally then started just spreading malicious gossip about you. Was it a TV company that you mentioned this as well?
Myself and Linda Phillips got a call from Matt O'Donoghue from ITV,
right,
asking us on the day would we come down to ITV and speak about our thoughts on Cyril Smith being stripped of the freedom of the borough. So Linda's Elaine Wilcox, one of the reporters, has gone to see Linda. I went down to Media City and did my interview there. I did the interviews, said our thoughts about Smith, said it was an insult to survivors that he's just being stripped now, and why is he not being held accountable in the past? Why are you even doing this now?
Well, it's 26 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, what does that
26 years later. So to us, it just looked like a ceremonial piece from the council to try and make him look good, try and make him look like he was addressing. I got a call from ITV that evening saying Danny Briley had said, that's when he said he's a paedophile hunter, he's a vigilante, and he's a liar. Said this to Elaine Wilcox. So Elaine Wilcox rang me.
And what did Elaine say to him, do you know?
Yeah, she said that's not my experience of Daniel. I know Daniel from the media stuff that he did with us, from the Rochdale report, and I know what he's about and the support what he offers, and what he's saying is not true.
So did she happen to say to you, why do you think he would have said that? Was there any kind of conversation you had between her and yourself as to why he would? Because it's a blatant lie, isn't it?
It's a blatant lie, but she was shocked with what he was saying.
Yeah.
Because what he was doing, he was trying to discredit me, basically. Yeah. So for me, this all ties in with what's coming, because it was the full council meeting that evening, and the last thing that the head of comms wants is a headache from me with the stuff I might come out with at a full council meeting, which will be pointing the finger, which Sarah wanted me to do. Because I said to her, at first I said to her, don't worry, I'll behave myself. I wasn't going to behave myself, I was going to say it how it was.
Civil disobedience.
Yeah, so I was just kind of like sort of reassuring her, because I wasn't really bothered about like sort of what consequences had come from like sort of having me say, airing other people's views, basically.
Well, this is a big platform in order to get your voice out.
So then she's texted me back, as you can see, saying go for him, basically. So I said, oh, crucify him, you know what I mean? Which is what I would have done. And she's like, well, go for it. So it's like carte blanche on the council then to say whatever we want, you know what I mean? The truth, basically, that we want people held to account that have colluded in the sexual abuse of children and covered it up.
And at this point, she was still well on your side and pushing you forward. I mean, at what point did she actually say to you that if you don't get what you want, I'll stand beside you at a camera?
Well, yeah, what she said is, she'd said at that point, if you can't speak at that meeting, she went, I will stand by you, like the day after, publicly in front of the media and expose the council for what's going on. Now, I didn't know at this point what was going on. We'd had our suspicions and seen other people's evidence, but we'd never heard it out of a councillor's mouth. You know, a credible, as they'd envisioned, a credible witness, because they can't discredit her because she's the deputy leader. You know what I mean? So she's part of the council, so she's airing the council's view. So if they call her a liar, the council can't call the council a liar. Do you know what I mean? So she said, I've got stuff to expose, I will stand by you in front of the media and talk about what's going on.
What seems clear is, regardless of Sarah's intentions, she had a fight on her hands. There was certainly elements within that council that didn't agree with the stance she was taking. So particularly the mayor just totally disregarded what she'd said in terms of inviting you to speak. No, you know, he's not followed protocol. So from that, do you think that was the beginnings of her having this kind of power struggle in order to get you on the platform?
So at this point, Sarah is championing me, basically. She's championing me. I had a hint that she's deputy leader. She wants Alan Brett's position.
I'm proud and humbled to have been elected by my colleagues as leader of the Labour group and leader of the council tonight. I would like to place on record my thanks for the excellent work and achievements for the borough of my predecessor Richard Farnell, and my commiseration to my opponent Jackie Beswick. But there is a big job to do, and I'm starting right away. Thank you.
She wants to be the leader, yeah? What we want is a full independent inquiry into Rochdale Council.
With the correspondence that you were getting, was there any reason to believe that she was saying to you that she's finding it hard in the power struggle to get the point across, hence, these are the people above me that are the problem? At that point?
Yes, because when we'd spoke on the phone, like sort of previous to that, she talked about barriers that she was coming up against. She talked about the old guard. She talked about the misogyny within those corridors of power, if you like. You know, if you look back at it, she knows who I am, she knows what I'm about, she knows, got a good idea of what I'm going to say. So what benefit would it be for her to let me have a platform with the full council and be demanding accountability?
Basically, what you're kind of saying is that in order to get you up there, it would embarrass the council to a degree where it could end up in a power struggle and she could end up being notched up a level or two.